Morning, this is Brian. Today is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. And I'm here in Carlsbad again for the second time this month. Here on the Lake Calavera Trail, parked right at the intersection of Cannon/Bobcat Road and College Avenue. And my plan today is to get up to Cerro de la Calavera, which basically means Skull Mountain in Spanish. Now, I'm taking a longer way to get there because I'm parked right across from Sage Creek High School. So I'm taking the longer route to get up there. I could have parked at any of the trailheads by College in Carlsbad Village, or I could have parked on Tamarack or any other smaller trailheads on the other side of Calavera. But I decided for the longer version. So that's the plan for me today, to get up to Cerro de la Calavera and hopefully spend a little bit of time checking out the Calavera Reservoir. Maybe after climbing the volcanic plug. It's an ancient volcanic plug. Basically formed, I believe, if I remember reading correctly, when the volcanic spew formed a plug in a crust on the hill. It's not a huge mountain. The summit's I'd say the summit's about 513 feet. That's why I wanted to start from this side here, because we are at the lowest. I think this is the lowest elevation trailhead, so I can get more elevation gain in, more distance, and we'll see what the scene's like today. Should be interesting. Yes, the high school is just right over here. And I don't know if the views are going to be so hot today because it is foggy. Very foggy this morning. So, I don't know if there's going to be a really good viewfinder on the peak today. But we will see. There you go. California sycamores lining this area here. Got a lot of rabbits hopping across the trail. It's a relatively cool morning, probably around 62, 63 degrees. Now I'm staying coastal this week because it's another hot week ahead. From what I understand, it's ridiculously hot, but definitely a little warmer than average. We're going to start getting muggy overnight lows again, so early starts are a must, and I didn't want to squander this week. Alright, we'll see how interesting this gets today. I don't even know if I'm going to get a good thumbnail of the mountain if it's going to be fogged in. We'll see. I'm going to keep heading along this. I'm still heading along the edge of the campus, the high school campus right there. And then I think the elevation gain is supposed to be very gradual till we get to near the foot of it. See, I'm starting at maybe about 70 feet above sea level at the trailhead. So that's why I'm going to be getting probably at least 450 feet of elevation gain today. This is what I'm hoping. before I go, there's a huge toyon right here. Very, very luscious toyon. A couple of big royal willows too. It's like this sycamore is already starting to turn yellow. As soon as you expect more like in November, the sycamore's already changing color. That's weird. You can actually kind of see the color in the camera. Kind of strange. We're still in August. Usually these trees don't start changing until November. All right, enough yapping. Time to start hiking. Of course, as soon as I turn the camera on, there's a bat. That's a bat. Yeah, right there. I can't tell you what species it is because it's pitch black. It's still relatively dark, but yeah, look at that. Getting pretty close too. Nice. It's been a while since I've seen bats. Yeah, it's staying kind of low. It's hard to keep up. Those things are. There's another one there. Nice. All right. It's been a while since I've seen bats. So I think this is the first time I've seen them here in Southern California. I used to see them when I lived in New Jersey. My family and I would be sitting on our deck, and right around evening time, these things would be flying all over the sky. Ooh, that one got close. Like I said, I can't tell you what species because I can't see any details on them, and I don't have a lot of knowledge yet on them. But cool. Another reason to start early in the morning because they're getting ready to set up shop and go into their roost for the day. All right, away I go. See you for some more updates. Cerro de la Calavera. It's just up that way. Kind of hard to see, but I can kind of see a little bit in the mist. Starting to get a view of Cerro de la Calavera right up there. That is my goal right there. Find trails that will lead up to that. So yep, it's not an extremely dense fog. It's actually pretty thin and kind of patchy. So maybe I will get some views. I have a feeling this fog is so low-lying that I'll be above it. I might be able to get some back county back views. Look at this huge ryegrass here. Looks like we got some Limus condensatus, some very tall ones here. Those grasses are tall. I think it's our tallest native grass, I believe. Yeah. Pretty cool. Mule fat. A lot of that here because there must be an underground water source or maybe an ephemeral above ground source, likely over there where all the bigger trees are located. Now, eventually I'm going to have to make a left. And not make a left, make a right. I believe this is where I'm going to be going here. I'm going to go bank right here and see. Well, let's see if this is even a trail. Yeah. Okay. This is part of the Carlsbad Highlands Reserve. I don't know if this is the right trail, though. I thought it was supposed to be a wider intersection. I guess I'll find out. Slightly overgrown over here. It's kind of a little rugged. It's like a humongous amount of coyote brush growing along here. A lot of them. Some of them are quite large. There's a large one right here. There's a lot of coyote brush growing here. Pretty cool, actually. All right. Let's see how this works. Keep you posted on my progress. There's one trail junction here. Yeah, pictures are coming out pretty lousy this morning. So, that could be the one I want to take, but there are a couple of other. I think I wanted to take the second trail junction. That's the first trail junction just right over there. Yeah, I pictures. I took a couple pictures and they came out some little splotches on them. That's kind of lame. Hope I'm gonna be able to get better pictures later. I'm probably gonna look for the second trail. I think there's a second one that's gonna branch off to my left. It's like we're heading into a grove of non-native tree tobacco. Almost like a little woodland of it. It's right up here. Nicotiana glauca. It's like a little woodland of it here. You can tell this area's been very highly disturbed. Mostly non-native plants over here. Pretty much all non-natives except for this one coyote brush. Yeah, it's a whole grove of tree tobacco. It's kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting. It's a small grove of it here. Little wooded section. Let's see. I'm kind of curious. Let's see when I find that next trail junction. There was a little use trail going off there. I don't know if that's going to be it or not. I will find out soon, though. Found another trail junction here. I'm going to start taking this one here. So this will be the second better defined trail section. Like I said, between this one and the first one, there was a small use trail. So let's see. Start climbing. And let's see how this works out. I might wait for the air to dissipate a little bit more before I start taking more pictures, but whole part of my videos, I love taking pictures and adding them between segments. But yeah, there's our hill, volcanic plug. So let's see if this leads right up to the peak. I'll keep you posted on my progress. We're heading in here to lemonade berry. A lot of it here. Some Rus integrafolia action. All right. See you up there. Looks like my pictures are starting to come out better. I think it was because of the moisture droplets in the air lower down when it was foggier. I'm getting much clearer views now of Calavera. Oh, and look at this. More California spine shrub. Been seeing this quite a bit lately. Dolphia californica. Seeing that quite a bit more lately. So just like, not last week, but the week before, when I did Dank Mountain, got a pretty early start. See, now it's got to be after 6 by now. I sat in my car for a while. Yeah, it's almost 20 after 6. I sat in my car for quite a while, waiting for a bunch of people to go, so I could have some peace and quiet to myself for a few minutes. Hey, what variant of bladder pod are we seeing here? Looks like the regular. This almost looks like angustada. This almost looks like Cleomela arborea variety angustada. I'm not 100% convinced. The normal variant would be arborea variety arborea. These are a little bit narrower. I think they need a little bit narrower. I'm going to stick with variety arborea for now, but there's a little intermediacy in that one. We have at least 3 variants of it here. Cleomela arborea variety arborea, your typical, probably your most widespread and most common one. Cleomela arborea variety angustada, narrow pod, narrow bladder pod, and then the rounded one, which is Cleomela arborea variety globosa. This is some pretty decent coastal sage scrub here too, I'll tell you. A lot of lemonade berry, large lemonade berries patching up the landscape here. So it looks like our trail is going to start heading up towards the lower portion of the crest. So here we go. All right, this is a very lovely spot here. This is very pretty over here. I'm liking this. Enjoying while it's still relatively cool. See, we're close to the ocean here, so shouldn't be too hot, but I still want to get an early start and stay coastal. Okay, looks like we got a really steep part coming up here, so that one's going to be a little time consuming, but should get me up to the crest relatively quickly, or at least the lower part. So yeah, the city of Carlsbad, pretty nice area, pretty nice. Going down this is not going to be fun. Going up it won't be super fun, but coming down it will be less so. So we get ready to go up that, and we'll see what happens next. I wonder if I can climb that. I wonder if I can get up there. That might be an interesting possibility. All right. So I'm part way up this, and I'm seeing a brickle bush right here. Brickelia californica. Yeah, there's a little amount of fog down in that valley. Kind of cool to look at it from above. For the most part, there's some loose soil, but most of this rock's pretty stable, so if you're just careful, you should be fine. Just take your time, don't rush it. Almost at the end of this small section here, I think. It's a very scenic trail. Don't think I'm going to be going down this though. Might be coming down a different way to vary up the scenery. All right. Ooh-wee. See you on the next clip. I saw this bicycle is coming down a real rocky, steep, almost like a little miniature cliff. I was thinking, ooh, Might be some rock scrambling, but there's a bypass right here. There's a bypass to the right of it. It's actually a light breeze this morning. It's very nice. This is a really beautiful hike. I thought it'd be longer so far. Yeah, so I guess what the mountain biker was doing, he was going this way, and he went down a really rocky, scrambly part. It would be probably a small class 2 section. I was just thinking to myself, dang, this must be an overlook here. Go check it out really quickly. Yeah, I just took the bypass. You have a lot of trail splits and join ups along this route. I might take this way down to the lake, or it depends, maybe I'll find another way to get down. So it looks like he either went, I think he went this way, down a small scrambling section. I was gonna say, okay, must have really good control to do that. That's pretty admirable. All right, but I can see my trail is going to go up towards the ridge line, and I believe it's going to bank to the right, because the summit is in an area where there's a relatively plain stretch of land, kind of like this. Should be a wide open spot where the high point is, or at least right near it. I thought it'd be longer to get up here, but that's all right. Like I said, my return trip will be a different route, so I'll be able to lengthen it a little bit. Got an early enough start to where I could do that and still beat the hotter weather, so should be good on that today. So, just want to enjoy my early morning peace, just like I did when I did Dank Mountain 2 weeks ago. It's only a few miles inland from here. Maybe I'll see it on the top. Maybe I'll get lucky. All right, well, I'm wondering if I can climb that right there. I'd love to see if I can make an ascent of that. Maybe on the way back after I loop around the lake or something. Maybe I can find a route. Here comes a trail split. I guess I have choices here. Should I go right or stay left? I'm kind of curious. Maybe I'll stay left. Should still be able to get to the crest. I'm pretty sure I'll find something that links me to the peak. Yeah, very nice. The other side of Calavera has almost like a crater rim, but I think part of that was due to mining excavations on the other side partially. There's supposed to be a rock labyrinth on that side as well. I might go check that out too. So we'll see how that goes. In the meanwhile, just a pretty gentle uphill climb. Just that one really steep spot. It's been pretty gentle. And I'll see you further up. Alright, so it looks like I got choices again. Again, he can either go right or left. I think if I go left, it might increase the distance a little bit. Sometimes for me, it's not always the easiest and quickest way to get up to a summit. Sometimes I like to make it a little bit longer, especially if it's a relatively short hike. Sometimes a little bit longer is better for me. So I'll just take up this side here. kind of interesting. So I'm staying left. So basically, except for one right bypass, I've been mostly staying left on the junctions. However, this time, I'm going to head up this way. Let's see. So far the sequence is left, left, right. Or right, left, left, right. Ooh, a little rented. A little rented. Hopping around in the bushes. Look at that. Little guy. Ah, there's Calavera Lake down there. Yeah, you can see this is part of the crater here. Alright. It's very interesting. Alright. I'm going to be out in the sun pretty soon. So, pointing the camera is going to be a challenge. I'm about to join the crest. So, this is one spot fight for the high point. I'm going to continue over there. This is the open spot I was thinking earlier would be it. That's a pretty easy hike getting up here. It's a very nice hike. Hey, I came from over there. That's the junction of College and where Cannon turns into Bobcat. Right over there, Bobcat on the high school side and Cannon on the other side. It's hard to tell, but I think I'm going to take my summit selfie here, but I'm going to walk over there and probably take a second one. So, let's see. And yes, the views are definitely opening up, and yeah, looks like there's some pretty good views up here. Yeah, so before I wander over there, I'm really trying to look at it carefully to see. I don't know. Maybe I should call summit time here. I'll call summit time here, but I'm definitely going over there. All right, so let's just put it this way. All right, this is it. Cerro de la Calavera. 513 feet. Not a huge mountain climb, not a big, strenuous hike. Actually, quite an easy hike, to be honest with you. A couple steep spots and some rocky spots, but otherwise, very, very pleasant hike up here. And the coastal sage scrub is absolutely beautiful, especially because it's got a lot of lemonade berry to create these big patches among the lesser woody shrubs. But I am going to go over there just so I can feel confident that I've made it official. But yeah, if you look on Google Earth or Google Maps, this is called Calavera Crest. You'll see an icon for it. But I'm definitely wanting to make a loop or something out of this hike. I want to go down a different way so I can check out Calavera Reservoir, go down a different way, probably maybe get back on that trail that I branched to start coming up here. So maybe I'm going to try to see if I can climb that hill with the water tower so I can maybe make a double summit day. Can't tell you the elevation because I have no idea, but it's a little bit lower than where we are. So I'm hoping next week we're supposed to get a cool down, especially in the mid to higher elevation mountains. So I'm hoping to maybe do some mountain hiking next week. We'll see how that goes. A lot of times I'll say I'm going to be going here and there, and I never do. But I want to start making some progress. So maybe I can climb some of the bigger ticket peaks. All right, so let's go see. Yeah, this might be slightly higher. This might be slightly higher here, actually. A lot of mourning doves up here. A bunch of them. Look at these little guys. Well, a couple other birds mixed in. Yeah, I got mourning doves just hanging out up here. All right. Yeah, I think that side is a little bit higher, so I think I did make it official over there, but I always feel more official when I go to the other high points along the peak, just so I feel confident that I hit the high spot, unless the high spot's blocked off by no trail and the area doesn't allow off-trail travel, which this is one of them. All right, I'm just gonna enjoy being up here on Cerro de la Calavera, Skull Mountain, basically, is what it means. All right, I'm gonna get ready for some views, but I'm gonna take another summit selfie, and I'm going to also slip in some new batteries. All right, well, it's a little bit foggy in spots, so it might be hard to point out some views, but at least I have some kind of a view to be able to point out to you. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get this before a bunch of other people start coming up to the summit. So first off, I'm going to start by looking north. And looking north, way off in the distance, I could see the high country of the San Bernardino Mountains. The high, long ridge between San Bernardino Peak and San Gorgonio Mountain. The San Gorgonio Wilderness up there. So now we're going to start by looking north. Now we're going to move on to the northwest. And I believe those are the Santa Margarita Mountains that eventually formed the greater Santa Ana Mountains. Oh! Would help if I looked there. So yeah, I think those are the Santa Margarita Mountains, and that's the southern tip of the Trabuco Ranger District of Cleveland National Forest, the northernmost ranger district of the Cleveland National Forest. But yeah, I believe those are the Santa Margarita Mountains. I don't know if that tall one is Margarita Peak. I'll look on the maps and see if I can link it up. And then I think I can see Santiago Peak way off in the distance. There's a large lump way off there that's kind of hard to see on camera. It's kind of about here where I'm pointing. That might be Santiago Peak. So still looking northwest, that gently sloping ridge in the haze, that appears to be San Onofre Mountain on Camp Pendleton Marine Corps base. Yeah, it looks like San Onofre Mountain, and it's really close to the coast. And now we're looking relatively west. We're looking west now. We're looking down into these canyons. I can see down by where College Avenue is going that way. Now I'm looking southwest, and that's Sage Creek High School down there. You see athletic fields. My trail started off right next to it. And then more southwest here. Thinking about maybe hitting that peak there, maybe hitting that small hill if I can get there legally. I think I want to make a climb out of that. And then, as we're looking south and well, it's more like southeast because there's really not much of a view to the south because it's fogged in. I can kind of see Cuyamaca way out there. See Cuyamaca Peak way out there. And then we're looking east-northeast into the sun, so I'm going to try to not do that too much. And then northeast, see if I can block it out a little bit. That's Palomar Mountain back there. That ridge, that big long ridge is Palomar Mountain. That smaller ridge next to Palomar is Agua Tibia Mountain, right there. Kind of connected to Palomar Mountain. And that way off in the haze is San Jacinto Peak, the high point in Riverside County. So yeah, okay, yeah. I'm digging it. Good views. On a really clear day, I imagine it'd be 3 times more insane, but I'm on a mountain, I'm on a peak, I'm happy. That's all that matters. Now, let's see. What do I want to do? Because I want to get down over by Calavera Reservoir. I'm trying to think how I want to do this, because I think I have a few options here. There's a trail here. There's a trail there. I'm pretty sure there's a descent trail over here somewhere too. I'm very curious. I really want to make sure I maximize my time up here. I really want to maximize it. There's another trail descending here. I think the real rugged part of the plug, I'd have to go around this way. But some of the other trailheads are over down here. I think that might be the end of Tamarack, but I'm not sure. I passed it on the way here, coming in from inland San Diego County. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go follow this trail here. And I got to remember where I left off, so when I map this hike, I know what trail I went. So I'm going to go take this trail. So I'm going to make a mental note to myself that there's a small barbed wire fence here. I should be able to see the imagery of it on Google Earth, so I'll know what trail I descended. I'm going to see if this will lead me down over by the lake. It's kind of cool to have the summit to myself, though, not going to lie. So there's supposed to be some chaparral here too. I'm going to be going, I think, down a north-facing slope. So we'll see how that works out. Let's see, I think this trail's going to skirt on the outside of this fence. Okay, well, it's not a barbed wire fence, but it is a fence. All right, let's see here. I don't know if this is going to be a trail or what. Let's see. So I'm going away from the fence. Okay, well, it's a trail. This might be a little tricky here. Let's see. Kind of curious. All right. Well, it's a trail, so it's all good to me. At least I can think it is. All right, well, I'm going to keep heading down this way. Hope this doesn't end up being a rock scramble. I wasn't really prepared for that today. Yeah, ooh, it's beautiful here. Oh, this is a nice side here. There's supposed to be chaparral here, but I don't see any. But let's see. So this might be a pretty steep trail. This is definitely a rockier one here. So if you go down the way I'm going, Take your time. Don't rush it. In fact, just take your time so you can enjoy the scenery here. I'm sorry if the camera's getting sun glare. I'm going to try to point it this way. Alright. Alright. Looks like there was an easier bypass over here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just keep going down. I don't want to complicate it. I'll see you on the next clip. I'm going to get a few photos. I didn't get many photos on the summit today. Well, I'm going down this. Got a right fork again and a left fork. This time I'm going to stay left because the right fork, I don't know if it's an officially sanctioned trail. It looks like a passable route, but I am in a preserve, so I'm trying to stay on official sanctioned trails. Now here's another, looks like another option here. This will probably meet up. This is it's pretty nice over here. It's very beautiful on this side too. Look at this. Look at this rugged toyon growing here. A little bit stunted probably because of the very steep exposure here. Very beautiful. A lot of lemonade berries, some laurel sumac, tons of coastal California buckwheat and California sagebrush. And some bed straws, occasional Hazardia, Squarosa grandalioides. It's very rocky here, so just take your time. It's very steep coming up, so I'm gonna have to really be careful. It's so worth it. That's why I like get up earlier. I get up earlier for stuff like this than I do for going to work. And I start work at 6 in the morning. I left my house probably about, just right around 4:50 in the morning, maybe 4:55. I was leaving my driveway. Oh yeah, this is very steep here. Look how beautiful it is though. Look at this. We got southern honeysuckle mixing in here. Wow, yeah, this is gorgeous. All right, there'll be a few pictures on this one too. Yeah, it was pretty sketchy coming down, but there are a lot of pretty stable rocks, very well embedded in the soil, that helped me step gradually down. Okay, looks like we got a fork here. I'm going to be taking the left fork. The right fork looks like it, I don't know if it's an officially sanctioned trail. Oh, and we're in a tunnel of lemonade berry, Rus integrifolia. Well, this is a nice little treat here. Oh yeah, we're in a lemonade berry tunnel. I love these type of trails. Here in coastal Southern California, these are enchanting stretches of trail. So if you're lucky enough, you'll find a trail that has a lemonade berry tunnel just like this. Wow, yeah, this is cool. Oh, this is gorgeous. I love it. I love these tunnels. Looks like we got another trail split here. Yeah, I'm going to be staying left. So basically staying left at pretty much just about all these junctions. Oh, that was an enchanting little lemonade berry tunnel. I love those. I love those little bits there. Okay. All right, so we got another junction here. Right goes over towards the fence, I think. I'm gonna, again, stay left. again, I'm going to stay left. Basically staying left at all the junctions. Look at these lemonade berries. They're so big and spread out. I love it. I love these type of hikes. How high am I above the crest? Let me see. There's not the crest, the reservoir. There's the reservoir. There's another trail, another smaller use trail coming down. And we're getting ready to go through yet another lemonade berry tunnel. Cool. Oh, there's even a toyon in here too. Sweet. Yeah, I love these. I love lemonade berry tunnels. In other places I go, I get scrub oak tunnels. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Let's see. All right, this time I'm going to take the right fork. Seems more logical. Oh, and yes, we got a scrub up. Now we're getting the chaparral now. I'm seeing chaparral shrubs popping up. Yeah, because there's a beautiful Quercus acutidens right back here. Pretty large leaves for a scrub oak. And that's Quercus acutidens right there. That's a nice one. That's a handsome one. And of course, more toyon. And now Mission Manzanita is popping up. Okay. We're in North County, so there could be a chance of seeing summer holly too. And of course, spiny redberry right in the center there. Beautiful Rhamnus crocea. Yeah. Yeah, we're in a Quercus acutidens scrub oak. It looks like we're going to have some more steep trail coming up. Yeah, these look like acutidens here. Alright. Should lead me down. I was wondering if I was going to see any chamise around here. We'll see. This is pretty steep and rutted here, so I'm going to take my time going down this. This is very pretty over here. You have to pay attention where you step. Very beautiful here. See you on the next clip. Okay, it's a very steep little sketchy spot here. Oh boy. Using a branch for levity here. Not levity, leverage. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of acutidens here. Look at that. Gosh, look at that. Yeah. So we got another pretty sketchy spot right here. Not a lot of rocks to use as stepping stones. What do we have here? Oh, an olive. A small olive. Small olive shrub. Like a little olive thicket. It does look at home here. Alright. So this part I'm just taking my sweet time. Still got a little bit to go down elevation to get to the lake. So I'm just going to take my time. Alright. I definitely have some chaparral shrubs popping up here, so I'm wondering if there's going to be some chamise or something. I was looking at the website, and it mentioned both coastal and common chamise. Adenosoma fasciculatum variety obtusifolium and variety fasciculatum growing here. So, yeah. I haven't seen any, but alright. So now intuition's telling me to go right. First, here's this really steep backside. I want to go check out, I still want to check out the lake, and I definitely want to check out the plug as well. I want to check out both. Look at that. That is sick. That is sick. Good view. Okay, and yes, the chemise is here now. And this is the coastal variant here. This is coastal chemise, Adenostoma fasciculatum variety obtusifolium. All right, time for a couple pictures of this awesome spot. All right, so I'm gonna be heading down this way. Intuition's telling me to head down this way. So I'm gonna keep the big that big rise right there to my left. Like I said, I'm making mental notes for when I document my hike on a map. Let's go check this out first. Just want to see. Just want to check this out for a minute or two. I think there's supposed to be a rock labyrinth in here somewhere. This is really neat. Very neat. I'm not ready to climb back up. I want to get down by the reservoir. Look at this lemonade berry here, so thick. Yeah, I'm not going to go up this right now. I think this is going to go up towards the peak. I want to go down by the water and explore some more, of course. Oh man, this is so neat. So I'll continue going down this way. I want to see what we got going on by the water. See what kind of wildlife we got going on. Of course, plants. There's even a picnic table down there. Time for a couple more pictures of this really scenic area. Alright, another junction here. I'm going to go head right towards the water. Or at least I think towards the water. Just trying to follow intuition on this. Very nice. Oh, yeah. I was thinking these are coast live oaks coming up. These larger shrubs. Those larger plants. Nope. These are scrub oaks. I think. Look like scrub oaks up ahead. No, these are coast live oaks here. I think, yeah. Let's see if there's a way to get back down the hill. Here's a picnic table here. I think we're all boxed in here, so. Oh yeah, the big cutout plug is on that side there. Now these are coast live oaks here. Let's see. I think this is the end of the trail, right? No, maybe not, huh? Yeah, it's not a park trail, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just wander around until I find something. Yeah, look at that. Time for more pictures. Seems like this is the end of the trail again. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Hey. I have to keep walking around to find it. Interesting. So I probably need to be walking along over there, because there's a trail over there. It's probably where I need to be. So let's see. I think this is the way I came. All right. So back to the junction. I'm going to bank a right here. So I guess I will follow this. Let's see if this gets me where I'm trying to go. We shall see. Boy, am I glad the trail goes this way. Look how thick that vegetation is here. Look at this. Look at these toyons. Lemonade berries. These things are huge. Wow. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. It just keeps getting juicier. Nice. I even got a blue elderberry right here too. Oh, this is pretty insane. These huge. How thick it is here. Ooh, fuchsia flowered gooseberry. It's dormant because it's dry summer season. This is incredible. How thickly vegetated it is here. This is what we call, a lot of botanists call, toyon sumac shrubland. Lemonade berry, laurel sumac, and toyon. All right, we do have a coast live oak here. And look at this. Look at the trunks on this old elder. You could tell it had much older, bigger trunks, but they resprout from their roots. This is absolutely incredible. And look at this. Look at the size of this toyon. Look at that. Oh boy. Wow. This is amazing. Oh, this is breathtaking. This is absolutely breathtaking. Beautiful. So yeah, this is toyon sumac shrubland. Some people classify it as a, some people I think classify it as a type of chaparral, and others classify it as a much thicker, denser, woodier version of coastal sage scrub. But I'm going to categorize it as its own. Toyon sumac shrubland. Again, toyon, lemonade berry, usually are two most principal players, and then laurel sumac joins in on it as well. But look at these toyons, they're just so luscious. And there's the little dam. this is absolutely enthralling. Got a pretty big laurel sumac coming up. Yeah, that's a pretty big one here. Oh boy. Oh, this thing's huge. Oh boy. Bruce. Yeah, got a Anacardiaceae. Melosma lorina. I was going to say Ruth. Wow. Alright. Let's get some more pictures. So yeah, I'm just about at the Calavera Dam. This is nice. This is really nice. This is really, really, really nice. Looks like we've got a nice little earthen dam here. Look at those. Birdie buddies. Birdie buddies. Alright. Let me get a couple pictures of this spot. So let's get some video of walking across this dam. Nice little earthen dam. Look at this side here. Behind the reservoir. Look at this rugged little canyon here full of boulders. Laurel, sumac, lemonade, berry, and toyon. Grab and hold. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, this is pretty dope. Yeah, this canyon right here is beautiful. Wow. This side here. Nice. Pictures of this canyon. There's some big willows. There's some big willows over here. Okay, I'm gonna have to go check those out. Like Gooding's willows, but we'll take a closer look and see. They look pretty big, actually. There's a pretty big willow over there. Of course, the royal willow's gotta be everywhere. Yeah, this is one insanely beautiful canyon. I get to hike along part of it too, it looks like, when I go back. Hopefully I'll be able to go back towards the other side of Calavera. I'm gonna go check that willow out. There's a big one. It's a pretty big tree. Alright, looks like there's a drainage gutter over here. I'm trying to think if that, I don't know if that leads back. I think the trail's up there. This is probably not recommended. But I think the trail, there's a trail above here, I think, that leads back towards where I'm going on my return trip. We'll see. Yeah, this is a Goodings willow. This thing is huge. This is a big one. Oh boy. Big one. Wow. Goodings black willow. Nice red willow right there too. Let's see what's up here. All right. Now, turning left on this junction here, and I think this should lead me back. Yep. Signs about the planets. You get to walk above the canyon. Yeah, this is a really cool hike. I wonder if I'll still be able to navigate my way to the base of that, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Wow, we still got a lot of fascicle tarweed growing along here. Yeah, these ones got pretty large. Yes, Deinandra fasciculata. Really charming, happy part of the driest, most desolate weather of the year when it's just bone dry. And yet, those things can really put on a show during the dry summer months out here. They're just such cheerful plants. Man, I have really enjoyed this one. I want to come visit this for a while, and I'm glad I just did it today. Like early starts for me, they're best. I do my best hiking when I get early starts. I just feel so relaxed and at peace. Yeah, school's down there, so this doesn't look like it's going to be a very long walk back. Looks like mostly downhill too. And then here we go, we got some larger laurel sumacs on the side right here. Yeah, they're getting larger over here. Yeah, that's why last week when I did my 1500th video, I figured I would do it on something that means a lot to me. And I celebrated it by showcasing a shrub that has been a part of my huge part of my love for plants for actually the majority of my life, nearly 3/4 of my life. I've loved these plants, even though I spent 8 years in a state where this plant would never make it, New Jersey. Come back, and you've got laurel sumacs everywhere. Yeah. That's what a lot of these hikes, I like to relive those simpler times when I was just getting out and exploring plants for the first time. Ooh, alkali heliotrope. Growing right here. Heliotropium curasavicum variety oculatum. Pretty cool. Alright. Let's get some more pictures of this canyon. Yeah, look at this southwestern spiny rush. It's a little upland from where I'd normally see this plant. Normally I'd see this thing by the water. Here are the seed capsules. Juncus acutus subspecies Leopoldii. Yeah, kind of surprised to see it this far upland. This is beautiful here. This is insanely beautiful here. I mean, this is breathtaking. This place is amazing. This place is absolutely amazing. I really can't adequately describe it in words. It is a great place to visit and hike. Just telling you, you have to visit this not just to climb the plug, the volcanic plug, which is obviously a really great reason to come here, because that's a whole nother fun adventure in its own. You got different trails you can use to get up there, but you also just explore around. This is definitely a place I would come back to visit, so I can get to the volcanic plug. I don't know if I'm going to be making it there today. There's something branching here on the right. I'm kind of curious as to what there is up there. Looks like a pathway. I'm just kind of curious. There's a pathway down there too that led me towards another path that I took further away to start climbing up to the crest. Alright, so let's see what this is here. I don't know where this will lead, but I am kind of curious, and I'm not rushed to do anything. We got a nice, beautiful, lush patch of arroyo willow here too. Look at this. Must be a decent water source there. Very pretty. Hey, there's some pretty luscious arroyo willows with pretty decently large leaves. That means they get good water. There's a little drainage gully down here. Wow, look at that. Look how beautiful those willows are. So this hike definitely incorporates several different elements, several different geographical elements that I love. Hills, slopes, canyons, gullies, ridge lines. Cerro de la Calavera has a nice little ridge line. Look at this. Cool. This is definitely worth you some photographs. Looks like this scenic little cutoff, just not much of a cutoff, it just kind of gives you a little scenic detour along the road. Glad I took it. I'll be up and close and personal. Some of those beautiful royal willows. Ooh, what do we got here? Little bush tits. Oh, look at these. Look at these little guys. These look like bush tits. Wow, beautiful. I think those are bush tits. Look at that. Those things are so fun. They're just so fun to look at. Been noticing a lot of this plant in the area. This one here, this is Lactuca cereola. This is called prickly lettuce. This is not native, and it is actually related to the edible regular lettuce. Now, I think there are ways you can prepare this plant. I think young shoots, I'm not 100% sure, but there are ways I think you can prepare this plant too for culinary exploits. I wouldn't do so until you fully research what it entails and how it's done. But yeah, it is related to the edible lettuce. Wow, this is just such a pleasant, it's a pretty easy hike. A couple of tricky rocky sections here and there, but this is not a tough hike at all. It's just a pleasant, very pleasant hike. Now I see a little trail here. It's just going to be another, oh, looks like a power line right away. Kind of curious. This leads to houses, it looks like. Looks like a power line right away. We've got another little mini canyon over here. Oh, I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna take this a little in here. We got some mountain mahogany growing in there too. Some Cercocarpus minutiflorus probably. I don't think you find betuloides over here. More of this though. California spine shrub again. This does grow here quite frequently. Seed capsules, little brown things are seed capsules. Yeah, there's a nice little gully right here. Supposed to be another little out and back right here. Yeah, there's a lot of San Diego mountain mahogany. Those lighter, fluffier textured, lighter colored shrubs down there. That's Cercocarpus minutiflorus. A nice grove of it down in the canyon. And on that hillside, we didn't expect to see it. Looks like all a bunch of royal willows growing up there. Looks like all royal willows growing there. So it's probably either a seep through. If there's a seep there, it's probably from irrigation water. Otherwise, you normally wouldn't see willows and coastal sage crab like that unless there's a water source. I wonder where this leads. Do I really care? Does it really matter? I don't think it really matters. One thing it's doing, what the thing is it is doing is it's getting me to this amphitheater here. I think it goes up there. That just leads over to the neighborhood, so I'm not going to bother with that. Let's see. Get some pictures of this area. Yeah, this is really neat. I'm keeping my voice down because there are people's houses above here. This is really neat. It's a little canyon. Really cool down here too. Look at those huge tree tobaccos. Those things are huge. Alright, so I'm going to start climbing up. I'm assuming this is going to lead towards a street. So I'm going to go ahead and climb this up towards that way. Get a little more elevation gain in my hike today. Yeah. Pretty big scrub oak right there. That looks like a Quercus dumosa. Wow. All right. Head up towards this canyon rim and see what's popping. Almost at the top of this climb. Handsome western fence lizard. Beautiful markings. I wonder if there's going to be a bench around here. Hopefully. Yeah, here's the staging area. Carlsbad Village Drive. And it's college. So I'm at another staging area. Glad there's a place to sit. Sit down for a few minutes. There's where I was hiking. I'm almost as high as it. Look at this Coast Live Oak. Tiny leaves, bunch of acorns. Cool. Handsome little tree. Bunch of acorns on it. So yeah. Not that much lower than Calavera. Probably about 150 feet lower than it. Yeah. This is it here. Cool. All right. I'm gonna go sit down for a little bit, get some water, and I'll see you on the next clip. I'm gonna be getting ready to head back down pretty soon. Look at the views. Yeah, this is the canyon I hiked to get up here. Very much a worthy side trip. This was one of the trailheads I was considering parking to hike over there, but I'm kind of glad I came the way I did. A little bit longer. Oh, maybe not, actually. Not necessarily longer. Okay, well. Stop to get a sip of water and some electrolyte puree. Now I am going to start heading back down the canyon. First, look at these handsome small Aleppo pines, Pinus halepensis. Some green cones. Yeah, look at that. Handsome, 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 handsome. Aleppo pines from the Mediterranean. All right, time to start heading back down. Oh, look at this handsome young California sagebrush, Artemisia californica. Wow, this is a handsome young one. very gently rubbing it. There's a lot of California sagebrush over here. Such handsome plants. Yeah, Calavera Hills. Yeah. Some Mission Manzanitas over on that side. Yeah. It's a cool little canyon here. This is a cool little canyon. I hear a California scrub jay. You can hear it. You can hear the bird calling off. Right now, laurel sumac there. I'm not going to point over there too much because it's too bright. So we had a couple 100 feet elevation getting it up here. Beautiful bird. Just trying to see if I can get the angle, get a look at the bird at an angle that doesn't have the sun in the camera lens. Not too bad, the bird flew away already. So yeah, I'm gonna go down, back down to this canyon. I'm still kind of curious about that hill with the water tower on it. We'll see how that goes. Might head for it, maybe. Just wanted to get out and get an early start, get a fresh start. All right, I'll see you down the way. More updates. All right, so still going down this beautiful canyon. Sometimes I have a hard time deciding whether I like big canyons better or smaller canyons better. See, I do think about that when I'm hiking in canyons. These smaller canyons kind of have a cozy, intimate feeling. I don't feel claustrophobic in them. There's definitely enough space to move around freely here. I love these small canyons because they're just such a small, intimate feeling. Small canyons. Ooh, little baby western fence lizard. A little baby. Nice. Little tiny thing. Did happen to see an orange-throated whiptail earlier, but way too quickly gone before I could even think to whip out the camera. Yeah, this is such a cool canyon here too. All right, I'm gonna keep working my way towards the foot of the canyon and be turning right to get back on the service road and on my way. Another side path going up this way. I'm almost tempted. Almost tempted to go up it, down and up it. You know what? You only live once. So I'm going to make another detour. I can't help it. There was an Audubon's cottontail. Yeah, just as I suspected. San Diego mountain mahogany down here. There's a pretty decent sized one right there, in fact. Full of seeds too. Some of these mountain mahoganies are covered in seeds. Pretty cool little dip over here. Yeah, see all that white? Those are all curleaf mountain not curleaf, San Diego mountain mahogany seeds. Oh, and this chaparral bush still has flowers on it. Malacothamnus fasciculatus fasciculatus. Still blooming down here. That's crazy. That is beautiful. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess I'm going to follow this one too. I just feel like I need to explore it a little bit more. Alright. I'm going to go up this way now. San Diego marsh elder. Eva haziana. This is a pretty decent sized one. It's a pretty tall one. These are pretty low growing, but yeah. Eva haziana. This is a cool little mini finger canyon. It's a finger canyon of a finger canyon. There's a nice old growth laurel sumac in here too. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, those are royal willows up there, just underneath those houses. Just wondering where this is going to go. Alright, see you on the next clip. See what else I can find along this hike here. What else am I going to find along this hike? Well, I ask, and I shall be answered. Here's another Quercus acutidens. Very handsome Quercus acutidens. I don't know if I want to hike this whole finger here, but I will climb up somewhat, see where this leads. Alright, what else am I going to find? Who knows? Well, Mission Manzanita. Cool. Pretty cool. Alright, keep on trekking. And for the next little piece of awesomeness, well, this ain't so little. Another huge laurel sumac. Look at this. This thing is massive. Oh, what? Oh, look at the trunk system on this. Look at that. You gotta be kidding me. I've seen laurel sumacs that are a bit taller than this, but look at the trunks. The camera doesn't do it justice. Look at the stems on this thing. This thing is a massive laurel sumac. Oh boy. That thing is massive. Almost at the crest of this one too. There's a lot of San Diego marsh elder over here. A lot more of it. It's all covering this hillside. I love side trips. These are not planned trips, by the way. These are unplanned side trips. This might be the end of the road here. The end of the trail, I think. Yeah. There's another pretty big laurel sumac right here. Wow. I think I made the right decision again. Exploring these side trips. There's some beautiful Mission Manzanitas again. Here's an interesting type of non-native prickly pear. Not sure what species that is. It's not native. There they are. I think this is college right here. Yeah, I think so. Wow. Yeah, I think this is College Avenue, I think this is what this is. Cool. Very nice. Sure glad I did this side trip. Boy, whenever I make a side trip, it always seems to be the right decision. Almost always. Pretty much always, actually. All right, back down I go. Got a little ways to get back down to the main road. I'm just enjoying this. Time for some photos. More happy birdie buddies. These little guys. So beautiful. Here's a Pride of Madeira, Echina canicans, another non-native. Oh, and a western scrub jay. Giant bird of paradise right there. And there's Calavera right there. Wow, another dope canyon. Time for a few photographs. Is there a western scrub jay in that bush? That Laurel sumac? That's something else. And again, proof positive that this was the right decision for me to make this side trip. And I didn't notice this on the way up to the street, but we got a hollyleaf cherry in here. Sorry for the sun glare. There's a hollyleaf cherry right in here. Prunus ilicifolia, subspecies ilicifolia. There's a hollyleaf cherry in here. Again, proof positive that my side trips are almost never mistakes. Almost never mistakes. They're just adventures waiting to happen. Alright, so I'm about to join the main canyon path here. There's that San Diego mountain mahogany again. And I'm going to be turning right to join the main branch back to the paved road. Okay. That was my first trip over there. Going up that way. And this is the branch that'll take me back. And that's just where I went right there. Another correct decision. Alright. See you up the way. For more updates, see what else is in store. Alright, so I'm about to rejoin the paved road after this ended up being quite a bit longer adventure than I anticipated it would be, because I just kept adding side trips to this. And I don't say that disappointedly. I say that very happily, because I got to experience some more parts to this awesome puzzle that is Calavera Hills. And I am most ecstatic that I did that side trip. That was a great side trip. So now going to start heading back down this canyon. Yeah, got a couple canyon hikes, canyon side trips today. And I love canyons, just like I love mountains and hills and peaks and ridges and slopes. This is just another awesome piece of the day. All right, well, I'm going to keep on moving down and keep you posted. Anything else I find. All right, so I just passed the end of the pavement. Now I'm down into this wash. Down into this pretty neat wash. So basically, I'll be closing out a really weird looking loop. Like I said, I don't know if this adventure's quite over yet. Still thinking about maybe some more, maybe another side trip before this is over. We got some very large cocklebur plants here, Xanthium strumarium. These are huge. These things are slightly taller than me. Very interesting plant, Xanthium strumarium. Did a spotlight on this plant in September of 2022, if interested. These are very large ones. There are some more arroyo willow. And some leafy California sycamores. Some very dark green ones. Probably is a sign that they really love that spot. They are very luscious. Sometimes the sycamores are in drier parts of their tolerance. They won't be quite as leafy, but these ones are very leafy. These are very dark green sycamores. Very dark green compared to how you see them a lot of times. Some random trailer over here. What's this over here? There's a rose bush. A cultivated rose bush, not a native one. Some random rose bush over here. Interesting. Looks like a climber too. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of neat, actually. Okay. And some quail. Too far away for me to get a good shot, but some quail over there. There we go. A lot of times when they cross a trail, they'll be crossing them in numbers. I've been seeing a lot of them lately. It's not a bad thing. Is this the way I went earlier? No, I don't think so. Let me see what's over here really quickly. Yeah. This is where I went earlier. Yeah. To get up to that hill. Let me see. Yeah, so I've basically closed out the loop. This is where I started heading towards the base of Calavera to climb it this morning. So I'm wondering if I want to get up to that hill over there. I wonder if I should go for it. So it looks like I'll be covering previously filmed territory. I guess I will. Let's see if there's a way I can get up there. Just about to pass again for the second time today in the same direction. Through the tree tobacco woodland. Very interesting. First time I went through here was before the sun came out. The sun came up. It's very interesting. These are pretty decent sized ones too. Yeah. Hummingbirds everywhere. Okay. I'm almost at my ascent trail that took me up to Calavera. Should be passing that very soon, actually. Now all I gotta do is see if I can get a trail going that way. And I think I see an opportunity. Okay. That's where I started going up. Now, I thought I saw a break in the fence. Let me see. Let's see if I can get up there. I see trails up and down that. I gotta see if I can access one. We'll see. Alright, so I'm further along a little bit. Still looking to see if this will still grant me access to get to that side. If it's fenced off, I might not. I'm definitely tempted to go for that other hill. If not, this will just be another out and back. A shorter out and back. We'll see if this works. Because I've been seeing this K-rail thing here pretty much the whole time. Just want to see if I can get to the other side. So, shall see. So somehow, K-rail is on the other side now. So I think I got carte blanche, whatever you call it. See if I can branch off here. Try to see if I can access the peak from here. All right. There's the water tower over there. So that should be my second summit climb of the day. Wondering which way I should go. Maybe this way. Better. Let's see. Okay. I don't know. Maybe not. There's a trail over there. Huh. I wonder how I get to that trail. Let me try going down here again. Alright. Here's a little gate. Maybe this will be the way up. Let's see. This will be the charm. Yeah, there's a trail over here. Yes, there is. All right, well. Now I gotta figure out which way is the best way to get up this. I'm trying to get to that water tower. Go over this way and see. All right. Keep you updated if this is the right way or not. So far, so good. It's a very roundabout way to get up here. This little use trail kind of swashes back and forth a little bit. Or kind of goes, well, kind of circumvents it, but there's the water tower. I'm trying to get up to the top of that peak. That'll make a second summit. So we'll see. This keeps leading me up there. I'm assuming it will, but I'm going to keep hoping it does. We'll see you up the way. Heading through a very nice lemonade berry thicket over here too. Very nice. There's Cerro de la Calavera right up there. I'm not that far away from the tower, the water tower. There it is. So I should be up there in a few minutes. Starting to get a little tired. Did a lot more than I anticipated, which is great because it's always good to get this extra exercise in. All right. Looks like there's a paved road the rest of the way up. Let's see. I thought there was a benchmark there. All right, let's get the rest of the way up. A couple other small hills and peaks in the area too for future visits. But I think I'll be good with this one. I think this will be the end of the extra side trips for me today. All right, let's go finish climbing this one. All right, just about at the water tower. I'm gonna branch off here. I'm gonna look for the high point, or at least the highest point I can access. See at the top. All right. Here we are. Peak number 2 of the day. Estimating this hill's probably about 400 feet elevation. Here we are. Second peak of the day. All right. Do a quick little 360. And then I'm going to take my summit selfie, take a water break. Start off by looking east. North. Northwest at Calavera Mountain. West. South. Southeast, and there's a quick 360. Now it's time for me to sit down after a summit selfie. One little parting shot before I get ready to head out. Those are the San Marcos Mountains. Not the San Marcos Mountains, the Cerro de las Posas. And I can see out by Double Peak. I can see Mount Whitney. And I think that's Dank Mountain. I think that's the one I did 2 weeks ago. I think that's Dank Mountain right there. I think that's the one I did. But yeah, those are the peaks near where Double Peak is. Pretty cool. I didn't recognize those earlier this morning, but I was thinking about it as I was looking over there trying to find Dank Mountain. All right, so basically I'm going to try to return as close to the same route back to that access trail and then get back to the main pathway down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to film very much on the way back because I've pretty much already seen it, maybe just a spot update or two, but I'll see you down the way. Okay, I'm just about back at the small K-rail crossing. So I'll just get back on the trail and just head back down the way I came. Yep, same exact spot. All right, keep on trekking down this way. Okay, back at the gate. Just remember, get back to the main trail and turn left to head back. I'm going to be turning left here, and I'm not going to continue going up that way. So going this way, and I'll keep seeing you on the way back. So go down this trail, back to the car, or back to the main trail at the bottom. Forgot when I came this way, I should have made a quick right. Here's a trail right here. There we go. Time to go down now. Look at those Mission Manzanitas. Oh, that's one actually. That's only one actually. Wow. Oh, there's an owl. Just took a squat in front of me. Hello, buddy. Beautiful. Like the ones on the eyeglass commercial. Cool. All right. See, I think, again, this side trip is why. That's the first time I've seen an owl in the wild. So, all right. All right. Still going, and I'll still see you along the way. I think that was a great horned owl. Looked like a great horned owl. But, still making my way down this. Keep you updated. Who knows, any more wildlife things that might, more wildlife sightings that might come up. Who knows? Again, these side trips have definitely worked out in my favor every time. Coast golden bush is starting to erupt into bloom. Isocoma menziesii, Verde menziesii. It's just starting to open up. Next month in October, it's going to be crazy. Okay. California gnatcatcher. Polyoptila californica, californica. It's a California gnatcatcher. That little bird. Polyoptila californica, californica. Wait, what a day for birding! Oh my gosh! Man! This has been a great day all around. Wildlife and plants. Alright, approaching the canyon bottom, and I'll see you when I'm there. Alright, so I'm back, just about back at the last trail junction. Just passing through the last gate. Then I am going to bank left to close out the rest of this hike. Should be back to my car within 15 minutes, I assume. Amazing day out here. I'll just follow this back to my car. See you along the way. Who knows if I'm going to see any more wildlife? Gosh, the way things are going, I don't know. There might be something else crazy going on here. I love it. And we got Fremont cottonwoods on the side of here too. All behind these willows. Yeah, Populus fremontii, subspecies fremontii. Fremont cottonwoods. All right. There's Sage Creek High School. The end should only be a few minutes away. All right. See what else happens on the way back. Ooh, dragon sagewort, Artemisia dracunculus, aka wild tarragon. Cool. Since it's lighter out, you can see a lot more stuff. There's even California rose growing here too. Rosa californica. Yeah, the end. Can't see the street from here, but this is the last hurrah for the day. So I'm just strolling and taking my time. I'm not in a rush. Been out here for about 3.5 hours. Good solid 3.5 hours of adventure. Lots of these gorgeous lemonade berries, Gooding's black willows, Fremont cottonwoods, and California sycamores. Of course, a royal willow too. This is basically going to be the last bit of hurrah. I'm just about to approach the intersection of College, Cannon going that way, and Bobcat going that way. Here's Sage Creek High School, and I'm about to end this video. Unfortunately, I am tired, but it is kind of unfortunate that the hike has to come to an end. I'll have to wait another week for another one. Just enjoying your last pass through. So all I have to do is just cross the street and I'm back at my car. So I'm glad I took this route today. I think this was a little bit longer distance to get to the mountain. Yep. Mojave Yucca. Never seen Mojave Yucca here. Would love to see a bobcat. I'd love to see a bobcat. Rosy boa, yeah. 2 weeks ago, no, actually 4 weeks ago, I saw one of these bad mamma jammas. Saw one of those bad mamma jammas on the Powell's Peak Trail and Mission Trails. Well, this is going to just about do it for me. Thanks for coming along on this adventure. Hope you enjoyed coming along with me up to Calavera Mountain, down by Calavera Lake, walked across the dam, and went up a couple of finger canyons, then went back, climbed a small summit, the water tower. So this is right here. All I have to do is just cross the street here and just walk about 20 yards. So this is Bobcat this way, and that is Cannon. All right. Pretty interesting. My car's just over there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next adventure.